Boredoms is a band from Osaka, Japan. They were formed in 1986 and are still going. They have, as far as I can work out, two of their members, Yamantaka Ai and Yoshimi P. are pretty much constant. Otherwise, it's quite fluid in terms of membership and in terms of name as well. And it's sometimes hard to work out what is the core band and what is some kind of spin-off. They have spin-off names as for the band and side projects, and it gets confusing. Though as far as I can work out, they have created 7 studio albums so far. They are described as being experimental and noise rock and things like that. Hi, my name's Dan. So this was the 5th studio album by Boredoms, and I understand that the pronunciation of the title is Super R, but there seem to be discussions about that going around. I have heard of Boredoms before. I thought I knew what they might be like, and I was a bit wrong, so maybe I've not actually heard an album by them before. It's an unusual album. I would describe it maybe as noisy rock trance, but I think probably the best word is experimental. It is musically pushing the boundaries, let's put it that way. They're mostly long tracks that evolve, and the kind of core sound has got repetitive drumming. I know drumming's mostly repetitive, but kind of in a very ongoing kind of rolling on space rocky, trance rocky kind of thing, with some distorted guitar, mostly doing chords, and then some strange sounds and some vocals. The vocals are generally quite quiet in the mix, and also sometimes they're shouted or screamed, and sometimes they're kind of more mumbled. And I can't make head or tail really of any words. There may be some words that are in Japanese, but mostly it's vocal noises, I think. And I wonder if the reason for the title of the album is that one of the most common sounds vocally seems to be ah. Yeah. Sometimes it's fairly musical. Sometimes it's fairly noise. It can be quite mellow. The end of the last track, Super Good, is quite a kind of mellow, tinkly soundscape. Soundscape is a good word to describe a lot of what's going on in this album. Sometimes there's glitchy studio processing, so things like where it sounds like the tape speed is speeding up or slowing down, and stuttery editing and stuff. So there's a lot of post-production has been gone into this. And just the overall impression of something that doesn't kind of sit still with your expectations, except then it does, and you get a kind of long section of the same sequence of chords, or a couple of chords or sounds, and drumming and a chord just going on for a long time. It's quite a slow listen in the sense that it evolves slowly over time, and it's kind of background listening, I think. So I kind of come to the conclusion a fair while ago that there's some music that you basically can sit and listen to and focus on, and you get the best out of it when you do. And there's some music that you don't get the best out of it when you actually really focus on it, and it's better as a kind of secondary, background-ish kind of thing when you're not really focusing on it and you're doing something else. Sometimes these music that's like that is associated with dance. I'm not sure that I would think this was very danceable. But other things like ambient and trance and stuff like that, even some of the more ambient classical is a bit like that. Anyway, I think it's interesting and odd for the sake of being interesting and odd, but manages to be interesting while being odd, so that's good. I think I fairly liked it. I think it's not a bad listen if you're up for something on the odd side. It's probably not for mainstream consumption. So if what you really want is songs that make sense and music that you feel comfortable with, then this is probably not for you. So that's my opinion. Please tell me yours in the comments below. that's it from me for now.